everyone, and thank you for joining us on today's episode of Family Vintage. This is where we discuss issues that affect us as a family and give advice on how it can be resolved. I remain SK, and today we are looking at what age can we release our child to go to university, being a male or a female. Before we proceed, please let's go on a short break. We'll be right back. It's Family Vintage. Welcome back. Before we went on that break, I did say our topic for today is at what age can we release our child to go to university, being a male or a female. And joining me in the studio, as usual, is MC Sadiq. MC Sadiq, welcome to Family Vintage.
Good day, madam. How are you doing?
And I'm fine, thank you. And you?
I'm good.
And today we are looking at the age we can release our child to go to university now, being a male child or a female child. And I think the minimum age for university intake is between 17 and 18 now,
right,
to go to university. And when we say we want to release our child, let's assume the university had admitted the child to come over. And looking at that age, we need some certain things to look out for before we can release our child. Now, let's look at it from this perspective. As a parent, you need to sit down, study your child. Is this child mature enough to go? Because there are some how will I put it? There are some consequences when you don't study your child. Is this child mature enough? Because if this child is not mature enough to go at that age now, the child will meet some older people there, and at the end of the day, they will brainwash him or her. And at the end of the day, where you are rushing to that, you want to take this child there, I want to take this child there to enter at this age, at the end of the day, you won't achieve what you tend to achieve at that age. What do you think?
To my own perspective, I think with the age of 18 and 17,
okay,
it's better. But as a matter of fact, as soon as the child is being given birth to, it is the work of the father and the mother to start studying the kind of child they are. So, that is what will give them the right not to dictate for such child the kind of discipline the child is about to go through. Like, for example, now I want my child to be a medical doctor, and he's very good in arts. You understand? While going to school, I think, while going to university, he may end up doing it for his parents and not doing it for himself. Another thing is we have to be liberal to our kids, to our child, in such a way that when they get to university, they won't see really university as a medium of freedom to do what they like, what they can't do at home. I think you're getting.
Okay, I'm getting your point, but I'm looking at it from this perspective now. Releasing child at early age, what are the advantages? What are the disadvantages? Because it has advantages. If you release your child to go to university at that 17 and 18, at the end of the day, the child will finish the study at early age, which is very fine to me. It's very fine because that child will get a good job. When we look at the Nigerians we are now, they are looking for a child of 23 years old with maybe 2 years or 3 years experience. When we look at it from that perspective, I think it's a good one for me at that age to go to university. But have you studied that child? Can the child brain carry the university stuff regarding the people he or she will meet there? Because if the child is not smart, or if he's not if he's not intelligent, or if he's not mature enough, he or her brain may not carry the stuff he or she will meet at the university regarding the older people and at the end of the day, they will brainwash that child. I'm looking at it from that perspective. And another thing is the child will get married at early age, which is fine. He will give birth at early age. But do we look at the disadvantages of taking that child to the university at early age?
Actually, I will subscribe to that notion of saying, considering the age of any child before going to university, we should also consider the maturity, because
Yes.
the style of teaching in secondary school is quite different
Different.
from the style of teaching in university.
Yes.
Because in secondary school they are using teaching method, while in university they use lecture method.
Yes, in university
So-
they don't even have time to start
Monitoring.
nursing a child.
Like,
So
okay.
that's why we parents need to sit very well and study our child. Can this child go at this age? Make we no do copy o. Can this
Also-
child go at this age? Okay.
Also, I will also say university is different from the secondary school level at which the child is under the parental control. In university, the child also sees himself as a free person, and he may be easily influenced by
Yes,
friends.
by friends. If he's not mature
Enough to do or undo things on his own.
Yes,
so
you
he
are right.
sees friends as his social messiah.
Yes.
So for that reason, I think
which we parents should have done before releasing that child to go to that school. So my advice for we parents is for us to understudy our child, know who your child is, know can this child brain carry this thing at this level, and also let's try as much as possible to train and teach our child very well before we can release, because at the end of the day, if that child is not well trained, if he's not well brought up, the child may not achieve what you intend for he or she to achieve. So I think we have to leave it there for today. MC Sodiq, there is no much time. Let's go on this break. When we return is our health segment. You are on to Family Vintage. Welcome back to our health segment, and today we are looking at oranges and its benefits. Oranges and its benefits. An orange is a fruit of various citrus spices in the rotaxin. Oranges is loaded with vitamin C. The fiber in oranges can help blood sugar level in check and can reduce high cholesterol and prevent cardiovascular disease. And when we look at orange now these days, majority of us, we don't take fruits. Is either we look at it that there is no much money, we look at the situation of our country now, we look at it from that perspective and say, oh, once you eat rice or you take a lot of eba, you think you've balanced your diet for a day. And when we look at the benefits we derive from all these fruits, they have a lot to do in our health. So MC Sodiq, what do you think about that? Because some people believe that once they've taken maybe a lot of rice, they don't look at it from that perspective that all these fruits have a lot to do in our body.
I thank you. This matter of orange remind
Fruits.
me of
Let's
fruits.
look at it from fruits.
I
Some
want
people don't even
I
look
want
at
to lay
fruits
more
at
emphasis
all.
on orange.
On orange.
Because fruits is good. It complements our meals.
Yes.
So, but on this orange you're talking about, it reminds me of a friend who says he believes in eating solid food, beans and bread in the morning, eba, three eba, and one meat in the afternoon.
That's where I'm going.
Fufu in the night. It feels like if you take orange will flush down every damn thing he has taken, so he will never want to take orange. So
Can you just imagine?
so that the food can carry him to the next day.
I don't really blame that person. Do you know what? When we look at it from the situation of our country, you will not want to digest your food. You want to say, let me take this food to the next day.
So
but it's not good for our health. So it's not good for our health. Please, let's try as much as possible, at least if it's once, to take fruits when balancing our meal. Please, let's leave it here for today on this episode. Let's go on this break. We'll be right back. Welcome back. This is our weekend take for today episode of Family Vintage. Please, you can contribute to the program through our social media handle at Ariki Media on IG and Ariki Media on Facebook. I pray you join us again, same time, same station on Family Vintage. I remain my humble self, SK.
I am MC Sodi.
And it is never too late for you to study your child and train them properly. We are signing out and saying bye.